Olivia had always been fascinated by old houses, so when she found an affordable Victorian home in a quiet town, she couldn't believe her luck. The house was beautiful, with ornate woodwork, stained glass windows, and a grand staircase, but there was one thing about it that unsettled her: the locked door at the end of the upstairs hallway. When she asked the real estate agent about it, he hesitated before saying, "It's been sealed for years. The previous owner said it's best left alone." The first few weeks passed without incident. Olivia spent her days decorating and her nights curled up with a book by the fireplace. But soon, strange things began to happen. At night, she would hear faint knocking coming from the direction of the locked door. At first, she assumed it was the old house settling, but the knocking grew louder and more deliberate. One night, it was so loud it jolted her awake. Determined to put her mind at ease, Olivia decided to investigate. She shined a flashlight on the door, studying its peeling paint and rusty lock. As she stood there, the air grew colder, and she felt an odd sensation, like someone was standing right behind her. She spun around, but the hallway was empty. The next day, she hired a locksmith to open the door. "Are you sure about this?" he asked. Olivia nodded, brushing off his concern. When the door finally creaked open, a wave of cold air swept through the hallway. The room was small and dusty, with old furniture covered in white sheets. In the center of the room stood a rocking chair, and on it sat a doll with porcelain skin and piercing blue eyes. Its face was cracked, and its dress was tattered, but it seemed oddly lifelike. Olivia felt uneasy, but she decided to leave the room alone. That night, the knocking began again, louder than ever. This time, it wasn't coming from the door. It was coming from inside the room. Terrified, Olivia grabbed a knife from the kitchen and went upstairs. The door to the room was wide open, even though she was sure she had closed it. The rocking chair was moving back and forth, slowly, as if someone invisible were sitting in it. The doll was no longer in the chair. A chill ran down Olivia's spine as she heard soft, childlike laughter echoing from behind her. She turned around, and there, at the end of the hallway, stood the doll. It was no longer lifeless. Its head tilted slightly, and its painted lips curled into a sinister smile. That was the last thing Olivia saw before the house fell silent again. When the police arrived the next morning, called by concerned neighbors who hadn't seen her, they found the house empty. The only sign of Olivia was her flashlight lying in the upstairs hallway, its beam pointed at the rocking chair. The doll was back in its place, sitting still in the center of the room. And the door? It was locked again. As if it had never been opened. Some doors are better left closed. Some things are better left undisturbed.
Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to hit the subscribe button for more exciting content coming your way.